there's things that I now incorporate into these stories, man. And the one is the why, right? Why would you tell that story? Number one. Two, what do you have to gain from that story? If you tell a story and all it brings you is shit, that story is probably true, right? So that leans it in there. Like you have nothing to gain for it. In fact, you have a lot to risk for it. In fact, it's not even helping you, right? So
yeah,
why would you tell
definitely.
it? So this story, man, checks a lot of boxes, bro.
Yeah, that whole personal gain thing is kind of important, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people, like the one that we covered about the barns, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was very detrimental to their careers and kind of everything that they were working toward.
Yeah, same with Bob
yeah,
Lazar.
people who come out with anything out of the ordinary, any extraordinary story, have a tendency to get discredited, right?
Yeah.
Unless they show up with extraordinary proof, so.
Well, and so it's not safe. The guy from Boeing just unalived himself 2 days ago, right? Like, I don't know. And look, I don't know why. Go watch.
Yeah, no, and then that's the other thing, right? Like a whistleblower, the whistleblower execution problem.
Yeah.
The mob style, right? Concrete exactly, shoes. Right? It's been a problem forever.
I think it's very disrespectful, and I think it's very dismissive to just outright LOL somebody's story, poop on it, and say, hey, that's not true. Just because if something extraordinary happens, then of course people may struggle to articulate exactly what happened because it's not something that's ever happened to anybody before. So when you sit down and you talk about it across, right? It's like, oh yeah, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. Whatever. You're off your meds. I'm like,
how do you describe something that you have no context for? Right?
None.
Like we've talked before, past people would look at this like it's a, witchcraft, right? And you'd probably be executed for it, right? Or whatever.
It talks to demons. It's a demon box.
Yeah, it's full of demons, and you're getting burned. It's just most likely.
Right? Yeah, exactly. You're getting pegged to the stake on that.
What happened to all the time travelers, right? They went a little too far.
You went too far back, bro.
They went too far, and they got in the wrong spot. And holy cow, that farmer thought
it's another one.
The demon popped out of something, and that pitchfork right in his back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's this like human programmed thing about the other, right? And trying to tell that and trying to articulate something that you just, in a very kind of adrenaline fueled moment, being clear and concise and like
and that's another thing. That's another thing that I'm gonna go over that he says there in his story that makes me believe him. Right in this story specifically, he says something in this story. He said this whole thing went down. When it got real, it went down in about 15 seconds. And he said something that I've heard other people in the military say before, man, is that time slowed down, right? And we've been in situations before where that's actually happened. And like, I could literally hear my heart beating in my ear. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how intense it was, right? And it was like slowing down. So, and then I can't even, and that was something we've been trained for. We trained for this shit. And perfect example.
Well, I mean, that's the point of it, is to be in an emergency situation and be able to hold your brain together.
Perfect situation. I'm gonna say some things here, but I'm gonna say it in a way, and don't add any detail to this. But me and this guy, we were in the military, and we were trained specifically for several things. But there was one thing that would go down, that if it went down, we had an X amount of time to respond. And when I tell you that time is about that, like that, that's what you had. If you messed up, somebody was going to die and you were going to Leavenworth. They would tell you that during training. You messed this up. They would. Right? Remember that?
I remember that, yeah.
Someone's going to die.
If you screw this up, you're going to prison.
And you're going to prison.
Good luck.
When that's happened, I had to deal with three or four real world live situations that went down. 3 of them went smoothly. And if it's going smoothly, that time frame feels like that. You got all the time in the world, man. Everything happens. Let that let that bad boy go sideways, man. And that time is like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, right? And I've seen other guys I've seen other guys during training completely freeze, just completely freeze, right? And it's like, man.
Oh yeah, we watched them together, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, just completely like I can't believe I can't even believe I'm seeing like in training, like I can't even believe it. Like I've never seen a man just
he was cold,
lights out, man, cold. Switch out, right? So, anyways, he during this encounter, man, he said that when 15 seconds is what it really lasted, was the heat of it, right?
Yeah.
And he said time slowed down, man. And when he said that, dude, I was like, yo, man, this dude, like, he lived it. Man, he lived it.
Yeah.
He said, like, because
there's, you hit that emergency situation that time dilation.
In this situation right here, I like to consider myself fairly prepped. You might have seen Big Daddy. I don't know, man. Like, so yeah, Billy. So, man, how salute this dude, man. This story is amazing. So let me get into it. I know I'm keeping everybody waiting.
Okay.
All right. Loose time frame, son. Loose time frame. 2018. June, to be specific. That's the date and time. 6 years ago from now. Location, Manatees National Forest, Michigan. Never been there. After this story, might not ever go there. Did a little bit of research on the place, man. 1 million acres. This place is massive, right? 1 million acre national forest. The national forest is so big that it's almost impossible to traverse other areas without sometime having to go through this. That's what Billy had to do. His profession is a truck driver, and not an F-150. I'm talking about hauling them bad boys and big boys, right?
Yeah.
So Billy had a job to do. Billy was hauling paper of some sort, about 45,000 pounds of it, if I'm being, stuck in my details here. Mm-hmm. He was in a specific type of truck called a day cab. And I didn't know this, but a day cab they don't have the things in the back. And Billy had every intention of going home, right? He was making this, He was making this run. He was going home.
And that was it.
That was it, man. He's driving his way through Manatee National Forest. By the way, Billy is a 59-year-old Army vet, by the way, right? And I hate to tell you people on this, I'm a little biased when I hear another veteran talking. I give him an extra little thing there because for reasons why, I just do, but makes him a little bit more trustworthy.
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.